So I guess putting those three lines of indignation together and thinking about what can we say to our kids and what do we take from this. I think there's perhaps two lessons that we can probably take from it. The first is that sometimes what drives you to be the best also drives you over the line. You're willing to win at all costs. It sounds like it's been quite an adversarial test series. Obviously, David Warner's reputation has been attacked with masks of a man that allegedly had been with his wife. And so sometimes that challenge to your ego and to your honour drives people or influences people to do things that doesn't best represent them. But I also think that we need to look at ourselves in that respect as well. If you're willing to break the rules in society, and I don't know many people that aren't, in regards to speeding, parking in illegal places and the like. If you're willing to do that, then what makes you think that you don't have the capacity under pressure to break the rules of a cricket game? And so that's something that Jordan Peterson says. He has a quote at the end of this lecture on YouTube where he says something like, if you don't think you're the sort of person that would do that, then you're the sort of person who is doing that. And his point is very much around looking at the shadow that exists, the monster within that has enabled humans to do really evil things. And his point is that you are one of them. You're a human. You're not outside the capabilities of doing what some of these people have done. So that's one part of it. I also think there's an interesting part when we talk about the honour contest, and this is particularly for young boys, that a lot of fights start over an honour contest. There was a criminologist in Australia called Polk, and he spoke about the contest in homicides and in violence. And it's an interesting one where if your honour is challenged, you respond in an emotional way. And I think if we think about perhaps what led, even though it was premeditated, what led perhaps to this incident, if it is indeed a one-off, is that these guys felt threatened over there in some way. No excuse, of course, but they felt threatened. They started relying on their limbic system, their emotional brain, that looks out for threat, and they stopped thinking according to the values of the game that maybe are regulated in the prefrontal areas of your brain. So particularly around shame, I think this is a really important one for boys, to be able to negotiate when they're being called out in schoolyards and the like, at the pub, for instance, to be able to say, a lot of me actually wants to punch you in the face right now, but because I know that there are consequences for that, I won't do it. And that, I guess, is the lesson when parents are looking for what can we take from this. Is there's consequences for all people. It doesn't matter who you are. We've often said, that the top people don't face consequences, but we'll see consequences for these guys. And then I, for one, know I'm capable of doing what they did. And so I hope that at some point they get a chance to come back and represent Australia and maybe redeem themselves in some way.